Good evening, aviator addicts. Well, I've got something a little bit different for you today. This is going to be our first series in looking at technical parts or small parts of aircraft. So today we're going to look at Spitfire tailwheels. Not very interesting, you might say, but basically the reason we're going to look at those is that I have seen lots and lots of things on online auction sites purporting to be Spitfire tailwheels. In fact, if you added up everything that's supposed to be Spitfire, Mustang and Lancaster, you'd find that all the world's Spitfires, Lancasters and Mustangs could never have flown with all that weight on them. Anyway, to stop people getting ripped off or buying something that they don't really want, we're going to look at what a Spitfire tail is. The easiest way to do this is not to show you what Spitfire tails don't look like, but it actually is easier to show you what they do look like. So without further ado, let's go and look at them. So here we have 4 Spitfire tailwheels, and they all look pretty similar, as you can see. If you are offered a Spitfire tailwheel, or a tailwheel that's supposed to be Spitfire, and it doesn't look like one of these, then it is not a Spitfire tailwheel. We will look at a couple of things that look like Spitfire tailwheels, but we'll then discount them. Basically, the Spitfire tailwheel was made by Dunlops. So this is quite an early Spitfire tailwheel. You can see that it's about the size diameter of my hand. So what you've got is it's made by Dunlops, and the first thing you will notice about it is it will have an AH2184 part number. So AH is the Dunlop part number. It might have an issue number and it might have a drawing number, but AH2184 is the part number for a Spitfire tailwheel. That is effectively most Spitfire tailwheels you will see will have AH2184. You'll notice with this one it doesn't have a thick rim around the side like later ones. It's also a mix of magnesium alloy there, a pure aluminium there, and then obviously you've got a rubber tyre. This tyre's perished because it's quite an old one, but we'll look at it. It's 4x3 size, I believe, but we'll have a look a bit later. So what you've got on this side is you've got a little grease nipple there, and then you've got standard car type Schrader valve there, and you'll see there's various numbers. It repeats the AH2184. So that is, if you like, the early pattern wheel. This is a pure aluminium wheel, so no magnesium alloy here, and you can see the part number is AH2184, and then it's got a /2, which normally means it's an aluminium wheel. Bit of a better tyre. You can see the part number of the tyre is a ZA5, original Dunlop tyre. This tyre's perished a little bit, but you can see it's a 3x4 tyre, and you can see it's got written there, electrically conducting. On some Dunlop tyres it has a little symbol with ECTA written on it, which stands for electrically conducting tail assembly, something like that. The reason why I'm showing this wheel is to show you slight differences. It's this little rim here, this is a rim edge. This is also a PR4 Spitfire tail wheel, so you can see it's got the remains of the blue paint. Flip it on the other side, and you've got the AH2184 part number again, /2, and it's a much nicer looking tail wheel than the earlier type. That's basically what we're looking at. So the majority of Spitfire tail wheels you will find have that AH2184 part number. Okay, now later Spitfires had a thicker tyre and a more a more robust tyre, because the Spitfire, as you know, went up in maximum all-up mass with the Griffin engine, etc. So it needed, if you like, a more substantial wheel. So now we're going to look at that. So I like to call this the Griffin type Spitfire tail wheel. So this was fitted to, if you like, the Super Spitfires, the later Griffin engine Spitfires, the C-Fires, things like that. So it's got a different AH number, which just trying to find now. Good golly, Miss Molly, there it is. It's there. which is AH18551. Again, this is a magnesium alloy wheel, but it's the same pattern with those nice 4 studs and bolts. The difference between it straight away that you see is, yeah, it's got an electric conducting tyre. It's a different part number. This one's a TJ R14, and also it's got it's slightly bigger, so it's 3 1/4 by 4 inches as opposed to the other one, which is a 3 inch by 4 inch. Other differences, when we actually look at it straight away, you'll see that the hub and the thickness of the tyre are bigger on the Super Spitfire. So this style of wheel was basically only fitted to Spitfires. A very much smaller one, which was about that diameter, was fitted to Chipmunks. So sometimes I've seen those sold, but they haven't got the AH2184 part number. Also, you had one on, looked like one on steroid. That is a Sea Fury tailwheel. Now if we put a Spitfire on it, you can see that it's much bigger, basically about 4 inches bigger than the Spitfire tailwheel in diameter. Again, this is made by Dunlops, so it will have an AH number. It's AH7313, basically 7313. So that's a quick canter through Spitfire tailwheel.